We are Jesse and JD. We are joined via Zoom by Jordan Miller, Kylie Miller, Leander Earl, and Eliza Enman McDaniel. You probably know them a little bit better, though, as The Beaches. How are you guys? Happy EP Day. It's out.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
How's it feel?
Amazing.
So exciting. We've been waiting to release this EP for so long. It just feels so nice that people are finally able to share in the awesomeness of these new tracks. So we're super pumped.
Yeah, it's awesome. Future Lovers is out now. And I saw it, when your last studio album came out, it got so much praise. Everybody was loving it. And I saw it as it was coming out. And I couldn't believe that a guy like Elton John, living where he is, the status he is as a musician, saw you guys, recognized you guys, said you guys had the best rock album of the year when that came out. Now, you guys got a lot to live up to with this new album. Have you guys heard from, a Madonna, a Foo Fighters, a Metallica, any other superstars praise this new record yet?
No, it's still early,
We're hoping to have Madonna by tonight.
Got Madonna on speed dial.
I was wondering though, obviously we're in the midst of the pandemic. We don't need to say that. And the pandemic has been different for, a lot of different kinds of bands. And, we've talked to bands where the pandemic has helped them because they got to sit down and stop touring and write a record. We talked to the Foo Fighters who said, it was cool for them to just like chill and hang out with their family. And I thought about a band like you guys, though, who are on the come up. People are starting to get to know who you are. We've seen your shows grow over the years, especially here in Calgary. And, when you guys are getting all that steam and then a pandemic just kind of shuts everything off for you guys, how challenging was that for you when you guys were just starting to, get popping off here in Western Canada?
Yeah, you're totally right in that, like, every artist and every band has had a different experience, like both positive and negatives. Like, I would say we have experienced part of the positives and that we like get to settle down with our partners and spend time with them, which we wouldn't have normally been able to do. But it definitely was, it wasn't the best that we gained so much momentum and then sort of had to stop.
It was a hard adjustment, I think,
yeah,
especially from like going off like a sold out Canadian tour, headlining tour, and then having nothing.
But again, we were able to finish our tour. Like, a lot of bands didn't even get to, like, some bands had to stop their tour halfway through, and some bands like spent years like saving up for American visas to play, the year that COVID happened, and were unable to, use those. So it's like, I don't know, like it's like a spectrum of like good and bad. And I guess we would kind of be fit in the middle because we again did get to finish our tour and experience that, which we're so grateful for, that we were able to finish.
How much more ready are you to hit the road though than after having to sit during a pandemic like that? You drop an EP in the middle of it, or hopefully towards the tail end of a pandemic. Like, you're probably just itching because normally under more normal circumstances you'd probably have a show tonight, right?
Oh,
Yep.
I mean, we probably have like our summer would be booked with festivals. We'd probably have like a tour in the spring and a tour in the fall. So it's like, yeah, we're really desperate to get back to playing live again. But, all we can do really is get ready for the day that we are able to do that. And that's what we've been doing and focusing our energy on, like getting our live set back to a really, really good place, because, sooner rather than later, I think I'm hopeful that people will be able to start going to see live bands again. And we'll be ready. We'll be ready for you.
But what worked for you ladies as far as upkeeping your mental health, during the pandemic? That's something we love to ask not only, the rock stars that we talk to, but the rock fans too, because I think the answer is different for everybody. But we like to call them cheat codes on our radio show from time to time. If you have any mental health cheat codes that have popped up over the last year and a half, maybe you could share a couple.
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm itching.
Liza, you want to go first?
I'm itching for this one. Yeah, like, I think there have been so many phases during this pandemic that I've gone through, and like, I'd say through the middle of it, I started to like shed a lot of the bad habits I realized I had, and I didn't get to take, like, we've been doing this for so long, for 10 plus years, that I didn't get a chance to realize I had these bad habits. And so I was like, okay, take a breath. And then I started like meditating, and I use Headspace daily, and I can't recommend that app enough. I will gladly pay like the yearly fee for it. It's the only app I'll like fully pay a lot of money for. It's so good. So I've been doing that, and just like eating healthy, and like just trying to maintain some healthier habits has helped a lot, like immensely.
That's good.
Yeah, I found at the beginning of the pandemic, doing anything music related made me feel really anxious, and so I'd sit down at the piano and start thinking of like, oh, we can't tour and we can't do this, and what's going to happen to my career, and I'd kind of spiral. So I took a break from music, which has always been my one true love, and I started skateboarding and exercising more and drawing and just like channeling it into other art forms and other hobbies, and I found that really helped.
Mhm.
Just taking a break from thinking about our career.
Yeah.
But now we're back.
And why don't we talk about NFTs real quick? We talked to Ewan from the Sheepdogs a couple weeks ago about this, and I think it's a fascinating question to ask of artists, because you're the ones that make the art, right? And for us, we're just the consumer. So I wonder when you hear things like NFT, non-fungible token, you start promoting a new NFT or a new EP, and maybe you're asked about NFTs. You guys think first off, is that a real thing? Second of all, is it a sustainable thing? And have you thought about it at all?
I mean,
That's such a good question.
this is the first time that it's kind of being introduced to us. Like we had a call about it with our team. I still don't fully understand it. I'm not gonna lie. It's a little bit of a
Us either.
confusing thing.
I don't even know if I personally think that they have value. Like that's just my personal opinion. But at the end of the day, like if there's an opportunity to like support yourself and make some money off of something like that, and people will buy it, like of course, and every band probably should get into that. But it's oh my god, e-currency and NFTs are just like it does not compute with me. I'm like, I don't get it.
We've thought about it, and I think we're going to take a different approach that we're working on with our label right now, of like not using it to get like money or anything, but using it to gain more traction with people and with fans and like more fan engagement. So not like really a monetary thing, but we do need money.
Awesome.
Good answer.
And girls, I know you guys have been, in a band for quite some time, and you guys started doing music when you guys were really young. And I was interested to ask you guys, because you guys did start music so young, and obviously it's worked out for you guys, and you guys are doing well right now. I've got an 8-year-old boy and a 4-year-old boy, both getting into music right now. My oldest son's got a keyboard and a ukulele, and he likes to sing. And I was wondering, from your guys' perspective, who kind of came up, in the music industry, and you're obviously in it right now, would you suggest to parents to get their kids into the music industry the way that everything is going right now?
Oh, that's a really good question.
Big question. Wow.
I mean, I don't think when we started music, I think my parents, like they never ever conceived of like this current situation that we're in, like being successful musicians, like a feasible thing, right? Like I think when me and Kylie started, they were into us playing music because they thought it would help us be better at math. They say that. And when we did start getting opportunities to do well, like to put our music out there and to get on the family channel, like, I mean, I think my parents, like, they just asked us, like, do you want to do this? Is this something that's making you happy? And we luckily had parents that, listened to us and just helped us. Like, I think if you're going to push your kid to do anything, whether it's like acting or sports or music, that's not really like the right way to go about it. But if you have a kid that's really passionate about something, whether it's, music or art or whatever, and they want to focus their attention on that, like that's when you should, support them, I guess.
Yeah, and my piece of advice would be like, if it is something that they're interested in doing, like a great way to go about it is to make sure you're doing it with your friends, and like make sure you're surrounded by people in your team who are like close to you and actually care for your best interests and want you to succeed and are looking out for your best interests.
Yeah.
Awesome. To follow that up, you guys have been a band for quite some time. I heard you guys mention, doing the stuff in middle school, and you guys did stuff with Disney. And I was thinking about when I watched your video for Blow Up, just actually this afternoon, and I saw, you guys putting cigarettes out in the donuts and putting alcohol into the fast food cups. Did you guys ever think, when you guys were doing that stuff for Disney, when you're in that middle school band doing the popular stuff, that one day, the world would let you transition to do what you want to do? Because we always stereotype people, right? Like, oh, that band does this and that's all that they can ever do. You guys kind of broke away from that. And I know it doesn't help when guys like me bring it back up for you guys, but did you ever think you'd be able to get here doing this now when you were doing that before?
Yeah.
At the time I did not think that, like, but that's part of the reason why the beaches exist, because like we weren't really proud of the music we were making back then. We weren't even really, like, let's be honest, we weren't really writing those Disney songs, like
We were co-writing.
and yeah, so like for us to, I remember the first video that we put out, like I think it was for Loner, and like I was in a bathtub with like a 25-year-old man in like grade 11 and smoking in it. And I just remember recording that being like, oh man, like some of these, kids that we've been playing to, like some of their parents might not really like that we're doing this, but at the end of the day, like you got to do things that you're comfortable with and just,
Yeah, that's why we made that switch, and we changed our name from Done with Dolls to the Beaches to have like a clean break, have some separation, so that we could kind of, have more freedom with this new project, do what we wanted. And it like kind of shed that image of like whatever the Disney thing, even though we weren't really like a Disney band, we were like the rock. No, but we were the rock
anti-Disney.
Yeah,
but you still had to follow like Disney-ish rules. Like we had to cover like any cleavage, like wear appropriate clothes in all your videos, like all of these. There's a lot of stuff that you're much more conscious about when you're doing like a kid-friendly platform, like with your music, which is, it's nice to not have those restrictions anymore.
Father's Day isn't too far away. We've been asking different rock stars we've been on Zoom calls with the last couple of weeks about rock memories with dad. Do you remember, any of you remember like dad steering you towards rock? Any like, bands dad introduced you to?
Oh, my dad liked lots of new wave music. So he introduced us to like Depeche Mode and Peter Gabriel and that kind of stuff. And he also liked Neil Diamond, loves Neil Diamond. My mom's more of the rock goddess in our family. She sort of introduced us to 70s rock music, like the Pretenders and the Rolling Stones and all that. Yeah. My dad's much more corny with his taste. That's where I get my taste from.
My parents are both heavy into pop. Like we only listened to Chum FM growing up. I think at one time my dad's favorite band was like Mariana's Trench. So he did not help me with this. I think I started getting into better music when Rock Band came out with the Beatles version of Rock Band. Yeah. And that's all I played every day after school. And then I got heavy into the Beatles, like every song before school, like subwaying to school was just listening to the Beatles. And yeah, so that's when I started steering away from Chum FM.
Eliza's cool as dad.
Yeah.
Well, when I grew up, like when I was probably 6 years old, my dad started teaching me guitar. He's like a very, very talented musician for a long time, for like probably 45 years now. He's multi-talented. So he was teaching me guitar, but I kind of picked up drums just like on my own, but he always had like the best music playing growing up. He would put on like Jerry Lee Lewis and like the band and Zeppelin and all those old classic rock, like good ones. And so like growing up with that around really like kind of steered me in that direction, and it just felt natural, like doing rock music. So yeah.
Awesome. We understand we are a little tight on time. So listen, thanks for your time today. I know it's a hectic day for you. First off, congratulations on the EP, Future Lovers. We love it. I know you're really, really proud of it, and you should be, because it's awesome. Thank you for your time today.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, girls. See ya.
Thank you for having us.